Well, yeah, my eyes close to the lights. Yeah, having big dreams, little time.
What's going on, y'all? Neighborhood niggas checking in. Good in the hood. And this is our first episode to this YouTube show. Alright? Today, we're going to talk about finding your purpose. Okay? And I'm going to give y'all the 5 stratospheric laws of success. Stratospheric because they out of this world. Yeah, these 5 laws are going to be the 5 things that'll help you propel yourself to the next level. Sometimes we get to a point where we're like, man, I've only been able to go this far. Like, I need something more, you know? And the reason why we're probably not able to get past that barrier is because there are certain things that we're doing that isn't allowing us to propel. Alright? So, before we get into all that, man, finding your purpose. Oh, man, that question, I ask people that question all the time. And I always get like a similar response, you know? In life, it seems like we all have that similar question. How do we find our purpose? You know? What do we put on this planet to do? And how do we do it? You know, it's a lot of times we think our purpose is whatever makes us a lot of money. And your purpose will make sure if you're achieving your purpose and you're pursuing that, you will be successful. But the money aspect will come. That's not something that should be in your forefront of your mind. You know, we've been preconditioned to think a certain way. And I'm right here, neighborhood niggas, we changing that around, you feel me? Alright, so many of us feel like that question is one of the hardest questions to answer. When in fact, it's quite simple. The answer is, what do you love to do? It's like that easy. Like, what do you love to do? You know, when you wake up in the morning, what enters your mind that causes you to smile? If you could do one thing for the rest of your life, what would that be? You know, you wake up, you don't feel like, oh man, I gotta go clock in, I gotta go do this, man, I'm busting my ass today, like, oh man, this, you know, okay, cool. It's getting the rent paid, yeah. But don't you just feel so depressed? Like, are you able to wake up and smile? Like, are you able to be like, thank you, like, I can't wait? What is it that you love to do? Quick story about me. There was a time where I used to manage a rental car company. We had a fleet of like 200 cars, and we would rent them out every day. You know, we're washing, cleaning cars. You know, we're just in all types of things. And, you know, we'll take customers home. You know, I'll drive some days. I'll drive like 2 hours to go get a car from another location to bring it back for a customer coming up. You know, things of that nature. And it was a time where I was working, I'd say I'd be up at about 6, and I wouldn't get home to about like 6:30 p.m., you know. 60 hours a week, just grinding. Grind. Don't grind, just grind. That word itself is just kind of like heavy. It's like, I'm grinding, like. But anyway, yeah, there was a time when I was doing that. And although, like, yeah, paying my bills on time, like, yeah, I got money, I'm eating good. I was a little bit overweight at the time, honestly, just because I had enough to just eat whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't really caring about what I'm putting into my body at the time, just because I had what I had. I felt like I could do what I wanted to. But, you know, there got to a point in time where I started to ask myself, yeah, I'm making some decent money, but man, like, where is the time going? I love music. That's my passion. I spread knowledge, I inspire people, I motivate through music. That's one of the avenues that I utilize. And it wasn't really offering me enough time to produce and to make music and to write the songs that I wanted to do. So sometimes when I bought a laptop, I found myself taking it to my job, and on my breaks. At break, I'm not even eating. I'm making beats. I'm writing songs. I'm doing all this, And so I started to realize, I'm like, yeah, I really need to focus more on music. That's what I want to do. I was living in Texas at the time, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to move back to Atlanta. That's where I'm from originally. And ever since I decided to make that transition in my life, a lot of things just started going fast for me. I started to level up in the careers that I wanted to actually pursue, what I love, I started to feel better about myself. I started to look better. I started to care more about how I treat my body and my vessel, like. And so anyway, I'm telling you all that to say that, yeah, just because it's making you money, you can definitely do that as a side hustle. I'm not saying quit your job and you don't have nothing else to do, nothing else back it. Definitely get the money you need to do in order to fund your dream, your purpose. It's not going to be easy. It never is easy. But it's definitely going to be worth it in the long run, because it's something you've always been striving for. And regardless of what people tell you that you can and you can't, when you accomplish that, that's just gratitude, that's just thankfulness, that's just excitement on you. You did that. Nobody else. So, anyway, a lot of times it's important to pick your love, what you love to do, over what gets the means, what gets things done. And that's something that, we all typically kind of forget, just because we get caught up in this system, this construct that's like, hey, you gotta grind. If you're not working 60 hours, if you're not getting no sleep, if you're depriving your body of sleep, then if you're depriving your body of sleep, then you winning. Like, no. Why is it that we promote unhealthiness? We promote things that kills us faster rather than promoting things that is beneficial to our bodies, to our lives. Isn't that kind of weird? It's like we go to school and we learn all this information. We learn all this information. And then we graduate. Now with all this information that we learn, and we're like, okay, surely I know what I love to do. Surely I'm going to be doing what I love to do. And then you graduate, and now you're like, well, dang, what really do I love to do? Like, I'm here with a degree now. I don't even know, like, was that really what I love to do? Like, okay. Start asking yourself, really figure that out. Because there's a lot of us every day, we go into a job that we hate, and we think that's all there is to it. And every 6 months, you probably looking for another job. You like, man, I can't, like, I'm hopping. Like, okay, there's more money over here, but I can't do this over here no more. Like, you just hopping. It's like, why can't you be stationary, right? You starting to wonder why. It's because you're not doing what you love to do. It's really that simple. So, anyway, let's get to the 5 stratospheric laws of success. These things right here is going to be some keys that can help you figure out what is it that you love to do. All right? I wrote them down here in my notebook. So, the first law, the law of value. Okay. So, your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value rather than you take in payment. Okay? Let me repeat that again. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value rather than you take in payment. Okay, so a lot of times people are like, oh, I need this money. Oh, like, I do this for you for like 100, blah, blah, blah. When you really focus on providing your customer or your fellow human being, the best service, the best value that you can give, then they're more willing to invest into you because you're investing the time into them. So say if there's two different people, two different camera photographers, right? You got a photographer, for one package he'll charge you $300, and in this package you get 8 headshots and a 30-second clip for $300. Alright, then you got photographer number 2. Okay? Number 2, you get 30 headshots, 30 body shots, 2 different music video, and a 30-second clip for $300. Now, which one are you gonna pick? It's obvious, right? It is, because the person, camera number 2, he want to give you more value for how much you're willing to pay. So you're gonna be willing to pay because it's like, oh, I'm getting all this in return. We can't focus on how much you're gonna get paid. Sometimes it's how much you're willing to do for others. That's how you win, right? Number 2, the law of compensation. Okay, your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. So that's why you see some of the most wealthiest people on this planet are such great humanitarians. They're donating millions of dollars into, nonprofits that help people find jobs, get off the streets, like this, that, the other. And people wonder, oh, they must be evil. They're doing evil stuff because they got it. And it's not necessarily that. It's, wow, do you see the other things that they're doing? All these millions of dollars and stuff, they're giving it out. They're giving it back. They're serving others, and they're able to keep that at the same time. There's definitely a correlation there, right? So we need to start looking out for each other. That's how you win. Being selfish can only get you so far. After a while, it's important to step outside of yourself and see what you can do for somebody else, because it takes a village. That's one of the first books I read in kindergarten, like, it takes a village. Anyway, number 3, the law of influence. Your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. Let me repeat that. Your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. Alright? So, it's quite simple. People are more so willing to hear about your opinion, or they're more so wanting you to be around or help them out when you're willing to do so without people having to ask. If somebody has a project and you know that you have the skills to better enhance that project, and it's something that you identify with, oh, that's a cool idea. Hey, let me help you out with that. That's how you build your influence with others. Because they're like, oh, wow, he went out his way, or she went out her way to really help me do this project. And then it's like, now they're going to hold you to a higher standard. Just because you didn't have to do that. A lot of people would rather just be like, hey, you ain't paying me, bump it. And, it's more than the money, because say if he didn't pay you, and then you all did a project together, and now this project's made him millions of dollars. Now he's like, well, shoot, I got millions of dollars. Here's $10,000 just because you helped me out. You can't look at it for face value all the time. Sometimes you got to move by faith. All right. Number 4, the law of authenticity. This is the easiest one right here. The most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. That is that simple. A lot of people try to fake and put on a facade, and we all wear masks to a certain extent. We all play this role, in this meat suit that we got on here. We all play this role, and we all identify as a certain way, but Yeah, somebody started calling me. But there's a difference. There's a difference when you're being yourself. You know, there's a difference. People can tell when you're being authentic. When you're not like, oh, putting on this like, oh, I'm this, I'm hard, I'm this, like, you know what I'm saying? People see right through that. Like, if you legitly who you are, you're gonna get way more respect just being who you are. Simple as that. All right. And the fifth law, the law of receptivity. So, the key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. And this is the fifth law because this is really the hardest in a lot of times. I know with me, for example, I got a big heart. So I like to give. I like to give. I like to give. And sometimes when I'm giving so much, I don't remember that I need to be able to be open to receive too. I miss out on some of my blessings like that. Like, sometimes, you have to step outside of yourself and say, hey, I helped this person out. And now this person's wanting to give me something in return. Instead of saying, nah, it's okay, it's all good, I'm good, don't worry about it. That person's coming out the kindness of their heart because of what you did for them to give to you. So you should be open to receive that. Because if you don't, you're blocking your blessing. You can look out for somebody at the kindness of your heart and they get into a good position and now they're like, hey, here you go. Here, whatever this is, here you are. And this could be everything that you wanted. But you'll be like, oh, no, I'm good. Like, I don't want that. Knowing you like, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and take it. And that's okay. Take it. As long as it's coming with good intentions. Anything with good intentions is going to provide good karma, basically. The energy you put out is the energy you're going to receive. So if you're doing for others, just know, like, if you're doing good for others, it's going to come back to you. So be ready to open to receive that. All right? So those are the 5 stratospheric laws of success. Quite simple. And they sound so easy. It's like you can go today and implement those 5 laws and see a change in your business, in your life, or whatever. Just by trying to provide value to others and stepping outside of yourself. Yeah, because in a sense, you got to be selfish to a point. You got to get to know yourself. But once you get to know yourself, let's get to know others. Because we're all connected. We're all connected to the source, God, whatever you call it. It's the same thing. We are connected to it. So yeah, that's like the first episode of Neighborhood Niggas. We wrapping up. I love it if you all would just provide some comments at the bottom. Let me know how you liking these episodes. DM us for different topics that you like to talk about. If you have any questions, we're open to hear all that. Definitely. Like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Keep us in your forefront. We're trying to change the world, one hood at a time. So, anyway, y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. Be blessed.